Let's unpack the extraordinary life of a true giant of world literature, Leo Tolstoy, who was raised in a world of privilege and power, but later underwent a dramatic transformation. His life unfolded against the backdrop of 19th century Russia, a time of social upheaval, war, and the rapidly evolving nation's confrontation with profound ethical questions. Tolstoy's remarkable, often voluminous writing resonates with perception, exploring relationships, conflict, and the same complex moral dilemmas we struggle with today. Count Lev Nikolaevich Tolstoy, Leo to English readers, was born in 1828 to an aristocratic family of Tula province, from a lineage that could be traced back to the 16th century. Despite a pampered upbringing, Tolstoy lost each of his parents while still quite young, resulting in a childhood and youth characterized by both wealth and emotional trauma. After a brief stint at university, he left his studies to join the military and served in the Crimean War. This would inspire his writing's flagship theme, humanity in the midst of conflict. Following earlier successes, he published War and Peace in 1869, then the now iconic Anna Karenina in 1877, which together totally consolidated his status as one of Russia's greatest novelists. War and Peace, a notoriously long read, is an epic tale intertwining the lives of several inimitably Russian characters against the seismic backdrop of the Napoleonic Wars. We follow Pierre Bezukhov, a socially awkward but wealthy young man searching for meaning in life, Prince Andrei Bolkonsky, a disillusioned aristocrat and soldier, and Natasha Rostova, a passionate noblewoman caught between duty and desire. Anna Karenina, first published in serial form, is the tragic story of a beautiful woman trapped in a loveless marriage who has a passionate affair with the dashing Count Vronsky. The novel explores love, fidelity, and societal expectations, with characters like the devoted husband Karenin and the introspective Levin echoing Tolstoy's own philosophical struggles. It showcases Tolstoy's mastery of elegant reversals, his ability to trigger empathy by convincingly unveiling with strategic timing redemptive qualities in his troubled characters. And he doesn't simply depict human flaws, but skillfully interprets universal suffering, challenging paradigms we adopt around difficult individuals, rendering them relatable. Throughout his life, Tolstoy wore many hats: soldier, landowner, patriarch, writer, philosopher, and following a life-changing epiphany, internationally influential social reformer. He was also a Sinophile and studied the works of both Confucius and Lao Tzu, before writing the non-fiction book Chinese Wisdom and several papers about Eastern philosophy. Tolstoy's later years were marked by the spiritual awakening that led him to advocate for non-violent resistance to authority, the dissolution of social classes, and humanitarianism. After intensively studying Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, he underwent a remarkable personal transformation, pivoting from a hedonistic lifestyle to an austere spiritual quest. Leo would wake early, exercise, then read, write, or work in the fields alongside his peasants, the former serfs he had tried to free even before Russian reforms had dissolved serfdom. In 1857, he founded a school for peasant children on his estate, Yasnaya Polyana, which also became the title of a radical new education journal he published from 1860 to 1863. Tolstoy's self-reinvention drove him to promote Christian anarchism and the doctrine of passive resistance, which inspired Mahatma Gandhi and later Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He actually corresponded with Gandhi for about a year, which inspired the Indian lawyer to take his own activism further. Gandhi even named his South African ashram after Tolstoy. While both his novels and his advocacy for an unusual blend of Christianity and bloodless revolution drew mixed reactions in his lifetime, Leo steadily gained international acclaim. Curiously, Though nominated for the Nobel Prize multiple times, Tolstoy never won it, sparking debates about the award's criteria and judgment, which continue to this day. Despite his evident wisdom and wide social influence, Tolstoy struggled with lifelong conflict at home. His wife Sophia opposed many of his teachings and criticized the time he gave his followers. At the age of 82, apparently weary of her relentless tirades, Tolstoy left home on a winter's night. Contracting pneumonia during a day's travel south, he died at a railway station. Since his death, generations of best-selling authors have consistently cited Tolstoy as their inspiration, and as the exemplar of literary realism that defines perception and redemption. Virginia Woolf called him the greatest of all novelists, and American literary critic and scholar Gary Saul Mawson declared that War and Peace was the greatest of all novels. Leaving aside his fastidiously crafted, sumptuously descriptive storytelling, Tolstoy's other legacy, his example as a humanitarian and social equity crusader, shines in its own right. His vision of a just, compassionate world continues to influence activists and thinkers across the globe, reminding us of the power of both philosophy and literature to effect change. We'd love to hear from you. Please share your personal experiences with Tolstoy's works, or any adaptations you've enjoyed, in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more inspiring content. And until next time, enjoy exploring the many wonders of world literature.
Tolstoy has been called a literary genius whose seared conscience drove him to confront the governments of his time. To meet his amazing forerunner, who also perfectly fits that description, visit episode 23.